tonight, Syed Rizwan Ahmad, lawyer, Mr. Vinod Bansal, national spokesperson of the VHP, Haziq Khan, Islamic scholar, joining me in the studios tonight, Shahid Ali, president of the WAQF Liberation Movement, Syed Masood ul Hasan, political analyst. But my first question goes to Vishnu Jain. Everybody knows him. He's a celebrity these days, Mr. Vishnu Jain. And Vishnu Jain, as a lawyer, I want to ask you, how can the WAQF Board acquire villages after villages, as we've seen in Tamil Nadu? And I understand there are 51,000 such cases that are registered across the country only on this issue of land grab by WAQF Board. To land that has existed with families, with people for generations after generations.
See, Navika, I'm so glad to be on your show, and so I'm thankful to you to have me here. First of all, I would like to say that there are examples in numbers. There are so many examples and examples after examples where we have seen during our professional life that the WAQF Board has exercised its powers arbitrarily. That is one aspect of it. I am on a different footing. I want to today on your channel show certain provisions of law which I want to question, that how can such powers be given to the WAQF Board, and whether in a secular India, whether in a constitutional democracy, is this kind of power available to any other religious denomination. Point number one, kindly see section 4, 5 and 6 of the WAQF Act and section 8, where the WAQF Board will conduct a survey after every 10 years, and the expense of that survey will be borne by the state exchequer under section 8 of the Act. Then kindly see section 40 subclause 3 of the WAQF Act, where the WAQF Board can declare any property as WAQF property. And let me tell you, the Taj Mahal has also been declared as WAQF property. The ASIs are under appeal in the Supreme Court, and there are so many examples. Chandrasekhar Azad Park in Allahabad, then Kashi, Mathura, Bet Dwarka, and the figures and numbers go on. Then kindly see section 54 of the WAQF Act. Under section 54 of the WAQF Act, the WAQF Board can declare anybody as an encroacher of the property, and they can direct the state government to remove that encroachment. At this point of time, I want to ask a question and put a question to myself, that whether such power is there with any trust, mutt, priest, pujari, purohit or shankaracharya. Because if someone encroaches a property of a temple, I have to fight a long battle before the civil court. Then kindly see section 89 of the WAQF Act. If you want to file a case against the WAQF Board, you have to give them notice, just like parallel government under section 80 of the CPC. Then kindly see section 101 of the WAQF Act. The members of the WAQF Board are treated as public servants. No pujari, purohit, shankaracharya, mahant in this country has ever been treated as a public servant. They are treated as public servants, and even if you touch them, it's an offence under section 21 of the IPC. Then kindly see section 107 of the WAQF Act. WAQF Board, even if they dream and come to know after hundreds of years that a particular property belongs to them, there is no limitation under the Limitation Act of 1963, and at any point of time they can say that this is a WAQF property. While on the other hand, for the members of the Hindu community, there is a particular set of limitation. Now under these given of draconian powers, these things are going to happen, and many more will happen, until and unless these provisions of law which I have just told you, until unless they are declared as unconstitutional and arbitrary in violation of Article 14, 21 and 300A of the Constitution. Till that time, this arbitrary exercise of power will go on. And Navika, let me just 10 seconds more. I want to tell you that there's a very renowned proverb in our legal circles: power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And this act is a classic example of how this proverb fits into this place.
Well, I want to ask Mr. Shahid Ali, president of the WAQF Liberation Movement. I want to ask you a simple question, and this is based on logic. I'm not getting into any religious or legal arguments. I only want to ask you, if the law prohibits that jo 1947 August 15 status should apply to all mandirs and all places of worship, so you're limiting the rights of the Hindus. On the other hand, you have the WAQF Board Act. You can acquire temples, you can acquire any land, you can acquire villages, and everybody in the WAQF Board is a demigod, and they are public servants. They will have all rights given to them. Everybody else, are they children of a lesser god? Are they children of another country, of another constitution? I want to ask you, do you think the WAQF Act is actually an act that is pitted against all other communities, not just the Hindus, against the Sikhs, the Buddhists, the Jains, every other religion suffers because they don't have the same rights as the Muslims have due to the WAQF Act? I want to ask you this.
So now a via media has been adopted to start or to build the public opinion against the WAQF. I want to tell you, all your listeners as well, that what is WAQF Board? WAQF Board is a state. State means Government of India. WAQF Board is a state within the meaning of Article 12 of Constitution of India. First of all, you should clarify this and you should understand this. What is WAQF Board? So WAQF Board is not the NGO kind of thing, or WAQF Board is not like any masjid or mandir or gurudwara and etc. WAQF Board is a state within the meaning of Article 12. Number two, you say that WAQF Board came into being or WAQF Act came into being in 1995. It is absolutely false. This is the misrepresentation. WAQF Board in India WAQF Act came into being in India in 1954, and this was always in existence even before partition. So these things, please do not misrepresent the public at large, India as well.
But the real
Now
amendment
third thing, I am coming to your all questions. Please allow me.
Was in 1995,
please allow
my
me.
friend, when the Narasimha Rao government was in power, and when that is the same government that, to appease Muslims, brought in the Places of Worship Act, and then brought in this
uninterrupted 10 minutes to Mr. Vishnu.
Amendment to
you
that
gave
act.
Uninterrupted 10 minutes to Mr. Vishnu. Is this forum only to misguide public at large?
My
If
dear
we are
friend,
not allowed to
my dear friend,
give
I
correct
only
picture
want
to the
to
nation,
ask you,
if we are
I only
not,
want
then
to ask you,
please
can
stop
there
calling
be
us.
unfettered
Please stop calling us
powers to
then. You
one
misrepresented
religion and
that
not to
WAQF
the
Act
other
came to being in
religions? Should all
1995.
religions
I
not
am
be
telling
treated
you,
equally?
Anybody can Google it. Anybody can Google it. WAQF Board after independence, WAQF Board came into being in 1954 for the first
Congress
time.
Sarkar,
This got
95 Congress Sarkar. Can I
kept
ask
on
you,
amending
they
time and
wanted
again.
to appease Muslims. They made the 91 Act, they made the 54
please,
Act, and they made the
my
95 Act.
submission is,
So I
my
want to
humble
ask
request
you,
is,
why
do
are
not
you,
misrepresent public
you
at large
are
that the WAQF
special
Board-
to
that
God.
the WAQF Act
I have
came into
no
being in
problems with
1995
it.
only.
But we
Number
are
two,
also, or Hindus, or Sikhs, or Buddhists, or Jains, they are also special to their God. Why should you be the preferred category?
This country is run by rule of law. There is a complete
why there is no
act,
rule of law for me?
1995, WAQF Act 1995. Complete code is there. Section 85 is there. Whosoever is aggrieved.
So why should I go, Navika? The point is this, why should I go before the WAQF
आप भी अपना लाइन किसी का लेकर रख लीजिए.
Why civil courts are exempted?
Exactly.
Why should I not go before the civil court, which is a secular court? And why should I go before a Sharia court, which is a WAQF tribunal? And the point is this, Navika, please give me 30 seconds. I want to add something else. The story does not stop here. In 2013, an amendment has been made by the Congress government. And instead of person interested, the word person aggrieved has been inserted. Now it means that the members of the Hindu community, you have the power to grab my land under the provisions of the WAQF Act. There is where the problem arises. Shahid Bhai just said that the WAQF Act, the WAQF Board is a parallel government. Exactly, that's our point. That the WAQF Act has all the trappings of a government, and it's a government under Article 12. I'm asking you, Shahid Bhai, a question. Whether do you know any mutt, any trust, any Christian diocese, any other body which has a status of a public government under Article 12?
Shahid Bhai, respond. It's a legitimate question. He's asking you respond to this question. Shahid Bhai,
any other religious denomination comes Article 12.
Respond to the question. Respond to the question. Respond to the question.
Shahid Bhai actually accepted what I was trying to say.
Yeah, respond to the question. Does any mutt or any priest or any gurdwara get the rights that are given to people who are in the WAQF board? Simple question.
Simple answer is that our work properties have, in this manner, by way of passing this act, have literally been acquired by the government, have literally been taken over by the government. The control has been taken over by the government. We have been asking the government, please free our lands to us, please give the charge to us, and pass a similar act which has been passed in the matters of our Sikh brothers. Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee Act, our Sikh brothers are entitled to look after the property, to take day-to-day affairs.
I don't know. On the one hand, you are saying you are a parallel government. On the other hand, you are saying we are asking government to free. Rizwan
You should exercise your powers under Section 54
Rizwan
and direct the government.
Can there be an act? Can there be an act which says that this board is so powerful that civil courts will not come into the play? They can decide everything in their court, which is a court by a certain community, within the community. If anybody has a problem, they have to go to that court. They will not go to the general courts. This will be a Sharia court. And on the other hand, Shahid Bhai has already admitted they have government powers. It's almost like a parallel government that is running. Should it be allowed? Now, Shahid Bhai, you'll have to calm down. Otherwise, I will have to lower your fader, because Rizwan Bhai is being asked the question and he has to respond. So Rizwan Bhai, एक parallel government चल सकती है क्या?
Public at large. My only request is.
Yeah, thank you so much. Plus, ask this person to keep quiet first, man. Yeah, thank you so much. See, I will address a larger picture, because when we have to talk for WAQF, I think Vishnu is a correct person. The larger picture is, and at coming years, this nation has to address this, what I am going to submit. Our constitution is flawed. It is an oxymoron that secular and minority words are being used in the same constitution. So we have to address this problem at the core. Brickling won't give us anything. In the coming years, we have to address, if the country is secular, there cannot be any special privilege for any minority, be it Muslim, Sikh, anybody. Number one. Number two, 70 years we had a flawed minority policy. Flawed means Muslims here. And I am very sorry to say, I support and I agree to the policies of this government vis-a-vis China, Pakistan, terror. But as far as Muslims go and Muslim appeasement go, the present government also is not able to give a jerk, which I was expecting in 2014, which they will give. That is a fact. Number two. Number three. Now you are talking about the WAQF board. You know what happened at Karnataka at Hubli? That Eidgah Maidan, was it a WAQF board? No. They had a lease to use it for 2 days a year. And there also they were saying that temporarily Ganesh ji ki murti wahan par sthapit nahi ho sakti. This is the mentality of these people. The mentality of these people is to replace, and the entire constitution should have been to protect the minorities, but unfortunately the constitution makes the minority aggressive. That is the biggest flaw in our constitution. We have to do away with the WAQF board. No if, no but, no dilution, no amendment, nothing. Muslims, this country cannot be secular till Muslims need or demand special privileges. The day they stop asking for special privileges, that day this country will be secular, and we have to cut this nonsense at the root.
Well, would you want to respond to that, Syed Masoodul Hassan?
Yeah, I may say that this person, Rizwan Ahmed, this is a venomous person against Muslims, and he is just spitting out his venom.
Why?
Against the Muslim community.
Why do you call it venom? He's saying everybody should be given equal treatment. Where is the venom in this?
I saw him on many debates spitting out the venom, and I'm really very amazed that he just put a question mark on the constitution itself, and an FIR should be lodged against him, because he is saying that our constitution is flawed. अरे तुम हंसने लगते हो, आज तक वाले डिबेट भूल गए जहां गाली खाए थे, हैं? ये कुत्ते की तरह भौंकने क्यों लगते हो?
Bhaiya,
सुन लिया
please,
करो।
Mr. Hassan, please stay in your limits. आप तमीज के दायरे में रहें, please. We are all our panelists are extremely respected people, and I do not want this kind of a language that should come out in the middle of a logical debate where pros and cons, pro arguments and con arguments are given. I want you to stick to the issue at hand. We don't need adjectives for the panelists. Please, and apologize to Mr. Rizwan.
Please tell him, don't laugh when I'm speaking.
No, it's okay. I'm habitual. I'm
He's a
habitual. They are
joke of-
learned people,
he's
but
a-
they are like
he's a
hooligans.
joke
I'm
of-
habitual. Continue.
He's a joke of the national TV debates.
He's not interrupting you. He's not interrupting you. He's not saying anything.
Why is laughing while
No, I mean, come on. You respect the constitution. You can speak. He can't laugh. He can't smile. I mean, I don't understand what kind of rule. You're calling him names and he can't laugh. Come on, let's stick to the point. Saeed Hassan Saab, you make the substantive argument that you want to make.
I just want to say, we'll have to see those circumstances when this constitution was made, when our country, India, is not a secular like America or like Europe. And in Europe and in America, in all other countries, there are certain minority rights. In America,
But can a minority right include that you can take anybody's land, nobody can ask you a question? If somebody has a problem, he has to come to a special court that you run, not a civil court. What kind of rights are these, my friend? That is the right that we are questioning.
This is a misinterpretation, as the Shahid Bhai said, that you are telling that WAQF Board has a separate court. No, it doesn't have any kind of court. Right now in India, in any state, I may say that. And
whatever they were
in
arguing in
WAQF properties, there are two kinds of WAQF properties.
In
One is
Gyangapi case,
WAQF
they were
alal
saying that this
khair,
matter
and
should
the
not be
second one
before the
is
civil court.
WAQF
It
alal
should
awlad.
go to WAQF tribunal.
So,
and now
No, the
property which is
what is the
WAQF
WAQF
alal
tribunal? Question to you by Vishnu Jain ji.
83 of the WAQF Act, sir. It is formed under section 83 of the WAQF Act.
Tribunal is not a court. Tribunal is not a district court or a high court.
That's what we are saying. That's what we are saying. Under Article 323, an administrative tribunal has been set up by WAQF tribunal under the name of WAQF tribunal, and the powers of civil court have been excluded. And if you are agreed by the order of WAQF tribunal, you go to the High Court and the Supreme Court. So the point is that civil court is taken away.
Absolutely.
And tribunal has all the members and formations of a member of a particular
who are
community.
members of the tribunal, of the WAQF tribunal?
The person who is known in Islamic law, a Islamic scholar.
So why should Islamic law be applied? Why should Islamic scholars be sitting there? That is why the question is being
I had
raised.
already said in India, Constitution has given the privileges to other minorities, to Sikhs, to Jain, to Christians.
Which provision, sir? Wait, I am asking, please show me a single act, and Navika, I will not utter even a single word. If today my fellow panelists show me a single act under any statute, any rule, order, bylaw, where any member of a minority community, Jain, Sikh, Buddha, Parsi, Christian, has similar provisions.
Okay, so please cite the act under which such powers have been given to the Sikhs, the Jains, the Buddhists, the Christians, and the Parsis. Please cite the law. Please cite the law.
Okay.
Please cite the law.
Community, if you heard about the Hindu family business law, there is a separate provision for Hindu family business law. There is a karta and a karak and all.
अब आप हिंदूज पे आ गए, हम तो minorities की बात कर रहे हैं, मैं तो हिंदू की बात ही नहीं कर रही.
For every community, there is a personal
name
law
the
for
law.
every community.
Name the law.
Hindu Marriage Act is
Name
there.
the law,
Hindu
sir.
Marriage Act is there. Hindu right to
Baba, he is going on marriage act.
You're talking about the marriage act. You're talking about the marriage act. You are talking. You know, is Vishnu Jain ji? Vishnu Jain ji. Is there such an act? You're a lawyer. Is there such an act for Sikhs?
I seriously don't know how to debate, because we are asking something else. He is answering something else. Now, how can you compare Hindu Marriage Act with WAQF Act? The point is this, and I'm like, with utmost sense of humility, I'm saying that please read the WAQF Act, please see the provisions of the WAQF Act, kindly analyze it. I have been in debates, and many of the co-panelists have agreed that yes, whatever you are saying has a strong point, and these draconian laws have to be struck down. Now, Mr. Shahid Ali, you can't just go on the national television and say that we are making statements against the record. We have read the WAQF Act, all these acts have been challenged before the Supreme Court, but the point is this, kindly see Navika, I want to give you a very burning example. Chandrasekhar Azad Park in Allahabad, where Shahid Chandrasekhar Azad gave his shahadat, that park has been declared as WAQF property. Bet Dwarka has been declared as WAQF property. Mathura Shri Krishna Janmabhoomi has been declared as WAQF property. Gyan Vyapi has been declared as WAQF property. Bhojshala has been declared as WAQF property. And the number doesn't stop. Tamil Nadu's example is there. Apart from Tamil Nadu's example, in Navika, I just want to make one more thing today on your channel. Entire Punjab and Haryana is suffering from the problem of WAQF Board, because you know what happened actually when there was partition of this country. The members of the Muslim community who migrated to Pakistan and the members of the Hindu community who came to Punjab and Haryana, they were initially given this property which belonged to the members of the Hindu community, and it was within the heading of evacuee property. The central government was the custodian of the property. In 1984, the Rajiv Gandhi government gave that property to the WAQF. Initially the WAQF used to take rent as 50 rupees. Now, अब सारे लोग आते हैं हमारे पास, कहते हैं सब 25,000 रेंट ले रहे, 30,000 रेंट ले रहे. Now when we research, we found out how can WAQF Board even be a owner of that property? Those properties belong to the central government.
Exactly the point. And I want to ask Khan Sahab. Khan Sahab, Haziq Khan Sahab, हमारे दादा और हमारे नाना जब पाकिस्तान छोड़कर आए तो हमारी तो जमीनें वहीं रह गई, और आज वहां हिंदुओं का जो हाल है वो आपको दिख ही रहा है. लेकिन जो यहां से चले गए उनका लैंड अब वक्फ बोर्ड को दे दिया गया है 1984 एक्ट के बाद.
हम रेंट दे रहे हैं.
हाँ, मैं ये पूछना चाहती हूँ, क्या हिंदू इस देश के अब जो यहां से चले गए उनके भी किराएदार हैं? और क्या ये वक्फ बोर्ड एक पैरेलल सरकार चलाएगा, पैरेलल जुडिशरी चलाएगा, जिसमें इफ देयर इज अ कंटेस्टेंट उसको जाना पड़ेगा वहां के कोर्ट में, और वहां सुनवाई ना हो तो फिर सीधा हाई कोर्ट, यानी कि सिविल कोर्ट का जो रिड्रेसल मैकेनिज्म है उसको मिलेगा ही नहीं. ये कौन सा लॉ हुआ? क्या ये अजीब तरह की सिचुएशन नहीं है जहां पर एक कम्युनिटी को ये हक दिए जा रहे हैं जो दूसरी माइनॉरिटीज को नहीं दिए जा रहे?
देखिए मैडम, बात यह है कि जब मुल्क आज़ाद हुआ 1947 में, और जब हमारे देश का संविधान बना, तो उस संविधान बनाने वालों ने हमारे देश के संविधान में वो आर्टिकल रखे कि मुसलमानों की जो वक्फ प्रॉपर्टियां हैं उनको यथास्थिति बनाई जाए, रखी जाए.
कौन सा आर्टिकल है सर?
अभी शाहिद भाई ने 12 बताया ना आपको. हमारा कहने का ये मकसद है कि जब हिंदुस्तान की सरकारें कानून बना रही हैं, नरसिंह राव के ज़माने बना हो, राजीव गांधी के ज़माने में बना हो, या जब वर्शिप एक्ट बना था, तो उस देश के प्रधानमंत्री रहे अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी, अडवाणी जी, ये सारे वर्शिप एक्ट के जब बिल पास हुआ था, हमारे माननीय वकील साहब जो हैं विष्णु जी, इनसे ज़्यादा विद्वान थे. उन्होंने जितने पार्लियामेंट में बैठे थे उन्होंने ये एक्ट बनाया था. और अगर आप यहाँ पर देश एक सर मैं आपके बारे में बोला, जब देश में उसको मानते हैं क्या, और वो कोई एक्ट बनाता है तो वो संविधान के एतबार से बनाता है, कानून के एतबार से बनाता है.
भी मान लीजिए पार्लियामेंट में ही बना था.
दिल्ली की जो है सराय काले खां से लेके और जितने पार्क हैं वहां तक, और जितने होटल हैं, जितने ये डीपीएस स्कूल हैं, ये सब वक्फ बोर्ड की प्रॉपर्टी में. अगर हिंदुस्तान में अगर वक्फ बोर्ड की प्रॉपर्टी तलाशी जाएगी तो हजारों लाखों फैमिलियां उस पर रह रही हैं, थोड़ा किराया दे रही है नाम मत. और ये वक्फ बोर्ड इसलिए बनाया था,
किराया दे क्यों?
इसलिए बनाया गया था कि इसका जो पैसा आएगा वो मुसलमानों की फलाह बहबूद के
लिए. यही तो हम कह रहे हैं.
प्रॉब्लम है, प्रॉब्लम है. हमारी प्रॉपर्टी, हमारा पैसा, हमारा माल.
8.5 लाख एकड़ जमीन इनकी, और हैं ये माइनॉरिटी विनोद बंसल जी, इनका कानून अलग, इनके हक अलग, बाकियों
कोई संविधान नहीं बनाया, प्लीज सॉरी।
ये पॉलिटिकल पार्टी थी,
जो है स्टेट को डिफाइन करता है, ये कहीं नहीं कहता है सर कि वक्फ बोर्ड का स्टेटस होना चाहिए। वक्फ बोर्ड
प्रधानमंत्री बेवकूफ थे, जानते नहीं थे, वकील नहीं बैठे हुए थे आपसे ज्यादा विद्वान जब कानून बनना था। कैसी बात करते हैं देश को इस तरह। देश में जो प्रॉपर्टी है जिसकी है उसी की रहेगी। अगर मंदिर की है तो मंदिर की रहेगी, मस्जिद की है तो
फिर मंदिर क्यों ले लिया? वो 1300 साल पुराना वाला मंदिर ले लिया, क्यों ले लिया भाई? कौन सा वक्फ बोर्ड का लैंड था वो मंदिर दिख रहा है ना आपको तमिलनाडु में। अब इसका जवाब दे दीजिए, मंदिर कैसे ले लिया?
मैडम ये हमारे देश के अंदर जब संविधानिक एतबार से कोई चीज किसी को दी जा रही, अब जैसे बाबरी मस्जिद दे दी गई, कौन सा बाबरी मस्जिद का फैसला क्या हुआ?
संवैधानिक अधिकार से 1300 साल पुराना मंदिर भी वक्फ बोर्ड के पास चला गया। 1300 साल है जी, 1300 साल है।
130 लिख के आ रहा है।
नहीं 1300 आ रहा है जी, आपको एक जीरो दिखा नहीं होगा, मैं आपको दिखवा देती हूँ दोबारा चलवा के।
1300 साल पुराना ही है इस मुल्क में,
तो 1300 साल पुराना मंदिर भी वक्फ बोर्ड का हो गया, हम चू तक ना करें।
नहीं वो उसको उनका अधिकार है कोर्ट में जाने का, लड़ रहे जो प्रॉपर्टी में रह रहे हैं।
कोर्ट क्यों जाए?
क्यों नहीं जाएंगे? कोर्ट जाएंगे।
सवाल है तो मैं आज नाविका जी आपको ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि मुझे भी ये पावर दीजिए, और मैं केंद्र सरकार से कहना चाहता हूँ मुझे भी ये पावर दीजिए इनकी संपत्ति को हिंदू संपत्ति घोषित करने की, और आप कोर्ट जाइए। ये भी जो आपका संविधान का इंटरप्रिटेशन है वही संविधान का इंटरप्रिटेशन
हिंदू राष्ट्र नहीं हो सकता तो मुस्लिम राष्ट्र भी नहीं हो सकता।
ये देश संविधान से चलेगा, और संवैधानिक एतबार से हमारे न्यायालय ने
संविधान तो सबके लिए बराबर होना चाहिए, पर ये बराबरी नहीं है। आपने 1300 साल पुराना मंदिर वक्फ बोर्ड के तहत ले लिया है, और विनोद बंसल जी संविधान की बात करते हुए ये लोग कह रहे हैं कि ये वक्फ बोर्ड हमें ये इजाजत और ये हक देता है। आई वॉन्ट टू आस्क यू, इज दिस just, is this something that is given to other minorities in this country? Even is this given to any majority in this country? Correct. I want to ask this question.
Navika ji, after 35 minutes of the long discussion and the heated debates, I'm going to
intervene time mat dekha kariye, itni interesting discussion
I would clearly say that no doubt, I am taking interest in it actually. No doubt, it's a very fruitful debate. Except two panelists, I gain this knowledge out of it actually. और ऐसे विद्वान वकील इसमें बैठे हुए हैं। मैं कहना चाहता हूँ, देखिए, द वक्फ एक्ट इज द बिगेस्ट फ्रॉड ऑन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ द कंट्री। आप देखिए कि इससे बड़ा कोई फ्रॉड देश के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पर, सेकुलरिज्म पर और देश की जो स्वाधीनता पर कोई नहीं हो सकता। ये बहुत बड़ा हमला है। आप देखिए, दुनिया का कोई एक देश तो बता दे, कोई पूरे ग्लोब के अंदर कोई बता दे जहां पर माइनॉरिटी को मेजॉरिटी से ज्यादा राइट दिए गए हैं, वो भी एब्सोल्यूट पावर। आप देखिए कि आपके जो एक शाहिद साहब तो ये कह रहे थे कि वो इट इज नाइदर ए ट्रस्ट नॉर एन एनजीओ, नाइदर यू कैन से इट ए गवर्नमेंट, नथिंग बट अकॉर्डिंग टू हिज स्टेटमेंट और द पावर्स गिवन बाय टू दिस वक्फ एक्ट under the WAQF Board, it is absolute power like an emperor, where nobody can question. Whatever the judgment has been given by the emperor is last and final. And this is a country. आप देखिए, मैं तो सिर्फ हिंदू राष्ट्र कहता हूं और ये तो मुस्लिम राष्ट्र बना चुके। नाविका जी मुझे बताइए, जिस प्रॉपर्टी पे मैं हाथ रख दूं वो प्रॉपर्टी मेरी है, मेरे बाप की, कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं कर सकता। अगर कोई ये कहता नहीं विनोद बंसल ये तुम्हारी प्रॉपर्टी नहीं है, तो मैं कहूंगा भैया आजा मेरी बीबी के पास, यहाँ को कोर्ट लगा हुआ है, वो सुनेगी। अगर वो जजमेंट दे देगी तो ठीक है, तेरी हो जाएगी, नहीं तो मेरी है ही है। आप देखिए कि ये तो धीरे धीरे करके पूरे भारत को ग्रेप करने पे लगे हुए हैं, और दिस इज द ओनली रीजन व्हाई दे हैव ग्रेप्ड द प्रॉपर्टी इन सच ए वे दैट दे हैव बिकम द थर्ड लार्जेस्ट लैंड ऑक्यूपायर ऑफ द कंट्री। ऐसे थोड़ी बन गए कोई
माइनॉरिटी। आई वांट टू आस्क शाहिद भाई, शाहिद अली साहब, आई वांट टू आस्क यू, माइनॉरिटी
नाविका जी, मैं कह रहा हूं कि दिल्ली की 123 प्राइम लैंड की प्रॉपर्टी पर विश्व हिंदू परिषद पिछले 20 साल से केस लड़ रहा है। आपको पता है 123 प्राइम लैंड की दिल्ली में प्रॉपर्टीज हैं, उनको वक्फ बोर्ड ने कब्जा हुआ है। विश्व परिषद सिर्फ इसलिए लड़ रहा है कि वो पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टीज हैं, गवर्नमेंट प्रॉपर्टीज हैं।
जो मस्जिद के बाहर है, मस्जिद की बाहर की दुकान है।
आप ये बताइए 2014 के इलेक्शन डिक्लेयर होने से ठीक 2 घंटे पहले, सिर्फ सही 2 घंटे पहले आप देखिए कि मनमोहन सिंह सरकार ने एक नोटिफिकेशन जारी करके वो 123 प्रॉपर्टीज को वक्फ बोर्ड के हवाले कर दिया। दिस इज द ओनली VHP आवर द मेंबर डेलीगेशन। और उसके बाद में उस
I want to ask Mr. Shahid Ali. Mr. Shahid Ali, can any Hindu, can Mr. Vishnu Jain go and look at any land and say this is mine? And if you have a problem, please come and litigate or present yourself in the courts that I have set up.
Before Jain Tribunal.
Yeah. Can it happen? The Jain Tribunal of Vishnu Jain will listen to your objections to it. Is it possible? Is it possible?
I am surprised that Times Now today is busy in spreading falsehood. Today Times
So what
Now
is the falsehood?
is busy in spreading only
What is the falsehood, my friend?
लॉजिक नहीं हो जाते।
Isn't it true that you are the third largest landowner? The WAQF Board is the third largest landowner in this country.
Me to speak at all. The problem is you have been speaking anything.
Not only
the problem
owner, it
is
is the
you have
land
been
graver.
you have been speaking
They are the land
anything.
graver
You have
of the
been
country.
you have been spreading
And
anything.
Third largest
All
tract
false.
was by Andhra Pradesh High
Please
Court.
allow us.
Not by us. And that was 2008.
And left their
क्यों नहीं हो सकती उनकी प्रॉपर्टी?
तो फिर 1300 साल पुराने मंदिर ले लेंगे आप।
13 साल की कोर्ट को देखना है। लेकिन अगर उनकी प्रॉपर्टी
कौन सी कोर्ट? आपकी कोर्ट?
नहीं, हमारे हिंदुस्तानी कोर्ट, हाई कोर्ट, सुप्रीम कोर्ट देखेगी उसको।
Why not the civil court?
Civil court भी देखेगा।
Why should the villagers be running to the state capital? Why should they come to Chennai to fight it? Why should they not fight it in their district courts? Tell me a reason why. Rizwan bhai, they are saying fight in the High Court or the Supreme Court. I want to ask you, why should a villager be forced to run to the capital of the state or to the capital of the country to fight a case which they should be able to fight in their district courts? Why should they go and fight in their court? And can any other community do the same thing?
See, Navika,
WAQF tribunal is headed by a sitting judge.
Navika, you must have seen jugglers. So we Muslims are best at juggling Sharia and constitutions. We are jugglers. जब हम चाहेंगे हाथ में कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ले लेंगे, जब हम चाहेंगे हाथ में शरीयत ले लेंगे, और आप कुछ नहीं कर पाओगे। पहली बात। दूसरी बात, अभी some person was quoting कि साहब अमेरिका में there are minority rights, इंग्लैंड में there are minority rights. That force I am saying कि that person who was giving me wisdom should understand कि the USA president swears by the Bible as per a bill, the same Bible of George Washington. In England, the Prime Minister swears by the Bible. They are Christian states. Denmark, Norway, all are Christian states. So if you want some special rights, you should advocate for India to become a Hindu Rashtra first. Then you compare yourself to the minorities of England or USA because they are Christian Rashtra. Understand the difference. Don't spread falsehood here, number one. Number two, Constitution is not a book from the heaven like the Quran, जिसके लिए हम बोलते हैं कि उसका एक नुक्ता भी नहीं बदल सकता. And some stupid person was telling me कि इसके खिलाफ FIR होनी चाहिए. Number two, number three, Constitution. अरे सुन लो बेटा, सुन लो बच्चे सुन लो, बेबी सुन लो. And last but not the least, Navika, अरे सुन लो बेटा, सुन लो. Navika, the Constitution has seen 130 amendments. 130. Secular word was not in 1952. It was added much later. So if they say that the Constitution cannot be altered, they should first request the government to remove the word secular from the preamble.
Well, Rizwan Ahmad, you hit the nail on the head. Saeed Masoodul Hassan, do you have a response to that? There is a logic in what he says. Do you have that logic?
नाविका जी, हम लोग पेड़ के ऊपर की शाखों पे टहल रहे हैं, जड़ तक नहीं पहुंच रहे. किसी को यहाँ पर यही नहीं मालूम, ना कोई बताना चाह रहा कि वक्फ प्रॉपर्टीज आई कहां से. वक्फ प्रॉपर्टीज कब्जा करके नहीं होती हैं पैदा. जो लोग मुसलमान जो अपनी जाती प्रॉपर्टी, मेरी खरीदी हुई प्रॉपर्टी अगर मैं चाहूं तो उसे वक्फ बोर्ड को दे सकता हूं, मेरे मरने के बाद वो जा सकती है, वो मेरी प्रॉपर्टी है, मैं जिसको चाहूं उसको दूं। बाद में
तो पूरा विलेज आपका है।
चंद्रशेखर आजाद
हिंदू
चंद्रशेखर आजाद पार्क कैसे कह दिया? जहां चंद्रशेखर आजाद पार्क में चंद्रशेखर जी ने शहादत दी, वो पूरा पार्क वो प्रॉपर्टी हो गया। और इलाहाबाद हाईकोर्ट ने व्हेन दे पास एन ऑर्डर देन दोस बाजार्स वर रिमूव्ड। नाविका, दिस इज अ हार्ड फैक्ट।
जलियाना वाले बाग में सैकड़ों मुसलमान मर गए तो वो उनकी प्रॉपर्टी हो जाएगी? ऐसा नहीं होता भाई, प्रॉपर्टी के लैंड के पेपर।
अरे सर, वो गवर्नमेंट प्रॉपर्टी है, वो प्रॉपर्टी कैसे हो सकती है?
गवर्नमेंट प्रॉपर्टी है तो गवर्नमेंट रहेगी, वो प्रॉपर्टी है वो रहेगी।
The bottom line is how can a 1300-year-old temple be claimed by the WAQF Board? How can village after village in Tamil Nadu be claimed by the WAQF Board? Can any other minority or even the majority community, the Hindus, be given special rights in this country? If they don't have, if Hindus don't have, Sikhs don't have, Jains don't have, Buddhists or Parsis don't have these rights, how can the Muslims claim this right? Isn't this something that needs to be relooked? The matter is in Supreme Court, but the new revelations that have come from this village in Trichy, where a man went to sell his land because he wanted to get his daughter married off and got a shock that the land he had owned for generations that was handed down to them is now part of the WAQF Board. How does that even happen? Is there a fact? Is there a land account? Is there some sort of land records that are maintained? Or can the WAQF Board actually put a finger and decide which is the land they own and which is the land they don't own? The third biggest land owner in this country is the WAQF Board, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it and think about how much land there will be when, after the railways and the defense system, it is actually the WAQF Board that owns these lands. Doesn't that read redressal? That's the question we are asking. Thank you very much to my panelists for joining me on debate number 1. The dangal